It's a big day here at the Watercourse line as Canadian Pacific's boiler is reunited with her frames once again. Suddenly the engine is taking shape. We also end today's episode with a little look at our autumn gala and what you can look forward to. Welcome to In the Loop. Hello folks and welcome to the Watercourse line. Now, before we find out a little bit more about what's happening behind me, it's time for a quick fire look around the railway to see what's been happening behind closed doors. Well, let's start with a few weeks ago and our engineering open weekend. It was fantastic to see so many people up here at Ropley. I mean, who wouldn't love a behind the scenes tour of our engineering workshops? Down at Alsford, we had the Hamps unit in the cattle dock ticking over, drawing in lots of support, and it was wonderful to see lots of people there as well. And up in the goods shed, we had our volunteer showcase, seeing some of our best departments out there and trying to attract new volunteers. And I know I've said it before, but it was wonderful to see so many people there and so many happy faces. Now on to current affairs. Let's start here in Ropley MPD. Understandably, Canadian Pacific is the star of the episode. And what is a locomotive without its cab? Well, here it is. Taken off at the moment, they're doing some work on the inside, including, as you can see, giving it a good paint on the inside, and Jose's just started on the outside as well. Now, on the line of paint, welcome to the paint shop, where we find Canadian Pacific's tender. It's only just been wheeled in, they've started doing some work on it, and soon the big repaint will begin, and she'll roll out of here with a beautiful green livery to match the locomotive. Looking at our standard 475079 on the main chassis, they are still working on the brake gear, which we saw last time. They've also started working on the spring gear as well. So lots of little steps, but important ones nonetheless. Now looking at the 7F, they're currently still doing the inspection process before they go for the overhaul, so they have a really good idea of what's involved. This did involve an unfortunate job for two of our volunteers, Bill and Tom, who had to pop into the boiler via the dome and give it a good clean out from all the sludge that naturally collects inside the boiler. An important job, but an unenviable one. Fair play, chaps. Now into the carriage shop we go, and we start with this, our bullied coach 4211. Last time we saw the roof ready to go for epoxying, and now you can see it in action behind me. Compared to the BY van, which was the initial trial for this technology, passenger coaches have a lot more going on the roof, for example. From ventilation ducts to water tanks to Bullied's amazing periscope, which allows the guard to see along the top of the train. They also have rain strips, end strips. So these are all being epoxied in place as we speak, and once they're all done, they'll epoxy the rest of the canvas to give a lovely hard-wearing waterproof finish. While we're here on this subject, another coach has come in. It's actually our other Bullied coach, wooden roof again. It doesn't need the same level of work. They don't need to do a full roof replacement. However, the canvas, they're going to try and do the same that we're doing with this coach, again, to make it last a lot longer than it normally would. Finally, looking at the Mark 1 we've been following, the outside has now been almost finished. They're currently in the process of painting and fitting everything. On the inside, everything's been refitted after having some work done on it. And all that's left to do now is a bit of the underframe and bogies as well. Well, a lot's happening here at the Watercourse line. Now in today's episode, we're here at Ropley to see this momentous occasion for Canadian Pacific's overhaul. The boiler has once again been reunited with the frames, being lifted into place just now. Now, it's a fantastic opportunity to say thank you to everyone who's supported the project so far, from our amazing staff and volunteers who have worked on it, to people who've sponsored a stay, and of course to the National Lottery Heritage Fund for helping us get to this stage. So, to find out a little bit more about what's happened today, let's chat to some of the team.
This is the culmination of 10 years of activity by our staff, by our volunteers across both here at Ropley and down at Eastleigh.
A heck of a lot of work. Today we've just finished putting CP's boiler on CP's frames. So that's been today's mission and it's on, successful, so well happy.
Having been working on this thing for the best part of 12 years, this really is a big achievement day. It's great to see. There's still a lot more work to do, but it's just that big moment when the boiler's gone back on and you start to see it as a locomotive again.
So a brand new firebox, crinolines, boiler cladding, smoke box, ash pan, They're all brand new. It's done a life before we've even touched it and restored it to what it is now, so we've had to do a fair bit.
Taking it a bit, just get everything off, getting the wheels out, the valves out, all took an amazingly long time. Some of it was reasonably easy, some of it was extremely difficult.
Brand new firebox, brand new set of tubes obviously. I've personally fabricated a new ash pan for it. It's quite something actually.
So the complete inner firebox was replaced. The back head on the outside was replaced. So you've got a complete new metal inner firebox which needs about 2,500 boiler stays putting into it. And we've had a team again of about 4 or 5 of us up here just working through that, starting from marking up all the holes on the inner firebox to drilling them, tapping them, reaming them, discovering that the holes in the outer sides were actually a bit bigger than we thought and having to tap and ream to a bigger size again. And it just took a very, very long time to wind up at a point where we got a firebox which had a complete set of boiler stays in. That aspect took about 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years.
Canadian Pacific is behind me. It's the most exciting day because the boiler and the frames have finally been married up. It's a really important moment. Thanks to the National Lottery Heritage Fund and lots of other funders, it gives us certainty that if we get enough money together, we can complete this project in the next 6 months and have it rolling on the Watercress line in March 2025. So it's incredibly important for us that this moment has come together so effectively. Brilliant work by our team, not just today in getting the crane operation on such a beautiful day, but also to make sure that a boiler and a frame that haven't been together for 10 years have married up so beautifully. So absolutely delighted, thrilled with the teams across the decade that the project's been ongoing, and it's just the most exciting day in this project and the most exciting day for me since I started on the Watercress line.
I have a bit of a history with Eastleigh Works. Before the Second World War, both of my parents worked in the works. My mum was a machinist on a capstan lathe, my dad was a blacksmith and a dab hand with the big steam hammers, so he told me. That was before my time. My mum worked there as a machinist right through the war, so she may well have made odd studs and things which are still in can-pack today. It's possible. As a little lad, I used to go to Southampton Station a lot with my little notebook, and it was just nice to see bullies in general going through. And the fact that we've got one and we can work on it is just rather nice. You know, it's an incentive to come up here.
It's quite a momentous occasion, and yeah, it's all right. Looking forward to when it's on a rat and I can have a beer.
What an achievement. Canadian Pacific looks absolutely superb with a boiler back on the frames and makes the locomotive look even more real. We saw it with our little blue engine and we're seeing it once again, albeit on a slightly bigger scale. It's a fantastic achievement. A huge congratulations to everyone who's involved. A huge thank you to everyone who helped us from sponsoring a stay to the National Lottery Heritage Fund. It's going to be great to see it running again, and you've got a lot to look forward to. On the line of things to look forward to, at the start of October we'll have our Autumn Steam Gala, and since we've got visitors this time, we're planning to do something a little bit different and tell a bit more of a story. Picture the scene. You find yourself at an interregional station. To the east, Southern Railway Metals. To the west, Great Western Stomping Ground. At the start of the day, each region only make it as far as here, Ropley, before they run round and head back from where they came. As the day progresses, an interregional stopper appears, travelling the full length of the line. A freight train weaves its way through, stopping at Medstead before propelling into the yard to marshal its freight train, and then continuing on. When it gets back down to Woolsford, it's remarshalled once again, with wagons being shunted up and down through the platform with plenty to see. Over in the cattle dock, a van is loaded with watercress before being shunted onto the next train heading up to Alton. Through the afternoon, the Atlantic Coast Express makes an appearance, charging through Ropley non-stop before continuing on up the line towards London. By the end of the day, all the locomotives will visit all the stations, and we're really hoping to create a really wonderful atmosphere for everyone to enjoy. So, if you would like to attend, and we hope you do, please visit watercressline.co.uk for more information and have an absolutely fantastic weekend. That's it from us this time, so thank you so much for watching, thank you to everyone who chatted to us, and we'll see you next time.